The Red Raiders are back in the NCAA tournament and have a matchup set for Pittsburgh, where the number 6 seeded Texas Tech Red Raiders will take on the 11 seed NC State Wolfpack in the East region. In today's video, we preview the matchup, give you the latest odds, injury updates, and I have my prediction. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. And listen, if y'all have listened to any videos I have done all year when it comes to Texas Tech men's basketball, you know the next question I'm going to ask you. Let me know your score prediction down below. Again, Texas Tech comes into this matchup as the 6 seed, NC State the 11, and they have an improbable story to get into the NCAA tournament, which we will talk about here in just a minute. But let me know your score prediction before we get into that down on the pinned comment below for the 6-seeded Red Raiders against the 11-seeded Wolfpack of North Carolina State. All right, one more reminder before we get into today's preview. If you want to come hang out with me and Austin Massey, my special guest, during the first round matchup of the NCAA tournament for your Texas Tech Red Raiders, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. We will be live at least 30 minutes before tip-off, giving you play-by-play, the latest news and notes from around the NCAA tournament, and have everything you need to know about Texas Tech. So if you want to join the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube and come hang out with me and Austin during this first round matchup for your Red Raiders, it's as easy as 3 simple steps. Just like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. All right, let's set the scene for it. Texas Tech back in the NCAA tournament. They will play North Carolina State at PPG Paints Arena up in Pittsburgh. That's a lot of P's, man. That is a lot of P. They're pushing it, apparently. At least that's what Gunna taught me. Anyway, tip-off time is set for Thursday, March 21st at 8:40 p.m. Central Time. Yes, you heard that correctly. 8:40 p.m. Central Time. You can watch the game on CBS. It will be the nationally televised game, or you can watch it on the March Madness Live app if you connect your provider. All right. The history between Texas Tech and NC State. These programs have only played once, and maybe your grandparents were alive. So there you go. Maybe your mom and dad, depending on how old you're watching. They played back in 1954. NC State won that matchup 85-74. Texas Tech is coming off a loss in the Big 12 semifinal, where I just mentioned to you the improbable run that NC State went on. They won 5 games in 5 days in the ACC tournament. They were the 10 seed in the ACC, and they somehow went in there and won the ACC tournament. Just they had no business being in March Madness, but they wanted the business, and they went in there and they took what they wanted in terms of a bid. They were one of the big bid stealers in March Madness alongside the likes of Oregon. But what NC State did was improbable in the sense of 5 games in 5 days. That's how many they won. It's absolute lunacy, and Texas Tech has to take them with a lot of seriousness in the sense of how well the Wolfpack is playing right now. All right, let's get into the injury update for Texas Tech. I know this is probably why a lot of people came to this video, and this is what we have right now. Warren Washington, according to multiple reports, was out of a walking boot at the Selection Sunday event Texas Tech held at United Supermarkets Arena. It looks like he is headed in the right direction to play in this first-round matchup for the Red Raiders against the Wolfpack. That is an encouraging sign. Do we know how much he could potentially play? No, I would think probably less than 15 minutes, but you're going to need him against a really good front court that the Wolfpack have, and we'll talk about one of their best players here in just a second, but that's encouraging news for Warren Washington. Now, on the Darion Williams front, this is where things become interesting. He was in a boot, but it was described as precautionary to us at Scarlet and Black Insider. And oh, by the way, you can subscribe to the Scarlet and Black Insider for only $1 for your first month. This is the time to do it, people. We're keeping you up to date on everything Texas Tech men's basketball all year long, but this is the busiest we're going to be because we got the NCAA tournament, and oh, by the way, we already have some good transfer portal nuggets for you guys over on the site. I'll have the link down in the comments and in the description below. But Darion Williams was in a boot. Now, if you remember this, Grant McCaslin, after the Houston game, where Darion did not play because of that ankle injury that he suffered against BYU in the quarterfinals in Kansas City, he did say he expects D5 to play in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Now, Obviously, things can change, but that sounds good. This really does sound like it's a precautionary thing. They want to put him as little weight as possible on that ankle right now. And then when they get back into practice, see how it reacts and go from there with treatment. That's the right move. That's the update we have in terms of Warren Washington and Darion Williams on the injury front. Now, when it comes to players to watch for NC State, it's the DJ show times 2. DJ Horne, the Wolfpack's leading scorer, is an absolute certified bucket. He's a pro. I mean, this kid can score from anywhere on the floor, averaging just under 17 points per game this season, 16.9 to be exact. He's shooting 41.3% from 3. He is a guy that Texas Tech has to know where he is every second he is on the floor. It's that simple. He will run around. He can be the primary ball handler. He can run off screens. He is a guy that the Red Raiders must know where he is each and every second. Another guy that, well, it's going to be easier to know where this DJ is because he's a giant. I mean, this guy is legit huge. The starting center for the Wolfpack, DJ Burns Jr., he's one of the biggest mismatches in college basketball. And you're going to see his physique, and you're going to think to yourself, okay, there's no way he's fleet of foot. You'd be wrong. You'd be very, very wrong. He has some of the best footwork I've seen from any big man in the country this year. He can stretch you out, and he kind of runs the point. Think about, for the Texas Tech fans watching this, Ali Khalifa at BYU. Very similar, but DJ Burns is much more physical and can get downhill and finish with his dominant hand, which is his left, okay? He is a guy that is comfortable away from the basket, is a good passer, understands his footwork and his body size and how to get to his spots really whenever he wants. The thing you're going to be most really just awestruck by is his footwork. This man has great footwork for his size, and Texas Tech is going to have to know where he is at all times as well. So the two names you need to know are the DJs, Horne and Burns. Now, the matchup I'm watching for in this one the most, it involves DJ Burns. I want to see the Red Raiders front court against the NC State front court because on paper, NC State has the advantage. Now, if Warren Washington wasn't hurt, but we're not dealing with that if, right? He is. He's probably going to play, if he does, only about 10 to 15 minutes. You're going to have to pick and choose those spots. RJ and Ameli Elahu have been playing sensational basketball for their roles, right? But they are going to have to be at the top of their game against an NC State team that is absolutely scorching hot right now. Again, winners of their last 5, and they did it in a 5-day period to steal a bid. Just sensational stuff by the Wolfpack. All right, let's get into the odds for this one. According to DraftKings, Texas Tech is opened up as a 5.5-point favorite. In my prediction, you can see it at the bottom of your screen. I have the Red Raiders winning this one 77-71 in Pittsburgh, and the Red Raiders move on to the round of 32 to face off against maybe Kentucky. We shall see on that front. But that's my prediction. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your score prediction for 6th seed Texas Tech against number 11 seed NC State out in the South region, even though they're playing in Pittsburgh. Now, I will say this because we haven't mentioned it yet. The Red Raiders avoid the Houston side of the South region, which means they have a chance to play in Dallas potentially if they win their first 2 games in the NCAA tournament in Pittsburgh. It's going to be a fun one, but let me know your score prediction down below for 6th-seeded Texas Tech against number 11-seeded North Carolina State up in Pittsburgh at PPG Paints Arena. And one more time, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you can make sure to join us on Thursday night, where we will have play-by-play action here with a live scoreboard, keeping you up to date on the latest NCAA tournament scores as well. And come hang out with the largest group of Red Raiders here on YouTube. Of course, I'm talking about the Back to 12 podcast channel.